rocking IKEA chair. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Dune. I have 3 Dune popcorn buckets. I have played every game that Dune has ever had in terms of video game. There was the strategy game, which came out on Sega Genesis. I played it. It's great. There's one of those like point and click adventures. Love it. But there we go. A new video game is coming out, Dune Awakening. It will be on Steam plus PS5 and on Xbox. And it's an open world MMO on Dune. You wear a still suit, you go out, and a new trailer dropped. And we're going to take a look at it. And I have some comments. Alan, you might need to mute me, but yeah. Let's take a look at this trailer. It's a couple minutes short, but let's watch it together because I have thoughts. Here we go, Alan. You ready?
Yes.
The only peace I find is a future that never happened. One where I, Paul Atreides, was never born. I created the future until it created me. But I see a narrow way, a path that might have been. What if my mother had obeyed her orders and given birth to a girl? Everything would change. Dr. Yue exposed before his betrayal. A world where my father lives. House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakeen. Sardaukar deployed to protect the spice melange. A war of assassins spreading across the planet. Fremen exterminated. No Muad'Dib. No Lisan al-Gaib. No Kwisatz Haderach. All of my visions lead to horror. Except for this one. This one leads to you.
Well, there you go.
So you're saying that by making Paul Atreides a woman, that the Dune world becomes lame and gay?
No, I'm saying actually it is. I cannot believe they found a story way to gender swap Paul. Now, technically, it is actually part of the story in the sense that Jessica, which was Duke Leto's, Bene Gesserit wifeling. What do they call them? Consort, whatever. He regretted not marrying her. She was supposed to bear a daughter, which was going to marry Feyd-Rautha, to merge the houses Harkonnen and Harkonnen, whatever. Harkonnen and Atreides were going to be merged into one great house. But he defied that because Duke Leto wanted a son, and so he had Paul. So I guess that's the reason they come up with that, we can gender swap Paul in the story. and they found a way to do that. But that's like retelling Star Wars as if Leia and Luke were switched, right? And Luke was Prince of Alderaan, and Leia was a moisture farmer. It's, and you know what? I don't want to say that word that out loud because I feel like Disney would make that happen. That what if Leia was a moisture farmer on Tatooine and Luke was Prince of Alderaan and Senator Luke Organa. These are bad ideas, but I just thought, in the previous games I played of Dune, they pretty much make you it's a strategy game. You're mining spice. You could have just been a Fremen that was, joined one side of the war, right? Or they could have made you play a different character. I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, I hate to say it. It looks so cool. I'm going to play it no matter what. But the story aspect really bugs me. It bugs me because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Alan, do you have thoughts?
Yeah. It's part of me is maybe you feel differently about this, but the fan base of Star Wars is much bigger than the fan base of Dune. So let's say this was Star Wars. Let's say we did swap Luke and Leia. I would play that game because I'm so intimately involved or understand that world. No, hold on. Let me just say.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand that world so much that if an MMO came along and they did that switch, the what if switch, I would probably be into it because I'm familiar with it, and I'd like to see that idea play out and maybe play it along. Problem is I'm not a fan of Dune. I've never read the books. I've seen the movies. And this idea of gender swapping Paul Atreides means nothing to me. And for me to play a game, all that says is that the game I'm about to play has nothing to do with the movies I watched. And so I'm not interested in playing that game. I guess it's a good idea. I don't know enough to judge that. But I can't believe that there's a fan base large enough that will think this is a good idea and want to play a MMO based on this idea.
I think if I know Dune fans well enough, they're just happy there's a Dune game, right? Like this, and this does look really cool. What would have been better is if you played as a different house. You either picked House Harkonnen, you played Fade Routha. So you're there, and it's basically battle for control of Dune, right? Yeah, so it'd be Atreides, Harkonnen, pick a house and conquer the planet. The thing is,
I would play that game because I've seen the movies and I would probably understand what's going on. But if you're going to fundamentally change the story of the game or of Dune, I'm going to feel kind of lost.
Okay, but let me give an example. Anyone in the audience, I played all these games. I was addicted in the 90s to the X-Wing games. Mm-hmm. You had to, for your computer, you had to get the control stick.
Yeah.
I played X-Wing, B-Wing, all the missions, and then they came out with a game, and it was brilliant. This game, you can find cinematics online. Mm-hmm. TIE Fighter.
Yep.
TIE Fighter was the story of Star Wars from the point of view of the Empire. Mm-hmm. So you played the exact same missions that you played in X-Wing, but from the point of view of the Empire. You were there trying to kill all the rebels so they don't blow up the Death Star. You played other battles, but from the point of view of the Empire. The cinematics are great for that game. There was a better idea here. I don't love this, but if this is what I got, I'll take what I can get. So, but I'm still, I
all-new Coca-Cola Spiced. With an unexpected burst of raspberry and spice flavors.
72-hour sweat and odor protection. That goes on clear. Gillette Antiperspirant.
Hello, my YouTube friends! One of my favorite types of live streams are the live reaction content. It's super easy to make as well. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically these are live streams where the creator reads a news article, looks at some images, or maybe even watches a video and gives their live reaction on it. Today, I'm going to show you the easiest way to create content like this. So you know what? Let's get to it! We're going to be using OBS for this. The only thing that I would say that you want to definitely have is a second monitor. Now, could you do this content with a single monitor? Sure. And I'm going to show you how to do it. But it's definitely not the easiest way. In fact, it's a lot more difficult. So let me show you how to set up a simple scene to do a live reaction. All right, so we're going to start out with a blank scene, and let's just call this one React. And what I'm going to do is just click the plus, and I'm going to add a camera in here real quick. Super easy. So we're going to go with a video capture device. We'll call it Cam. Click OK. And I'm just going to add my microphone with the camera as well. So I'm going to go use custom audio device and select the audio that I want to use, which is that right there. We can see it. We can adjust the volume. We can do whatever we want. And then I can crop this up or adjust it. In this particular case, I think what I'm probably going to do for now is shrink this down. I'm going to use the Alt key and crop up the sides a little bit. And I think that will be sufficient. We could use a mask or something like that if we wanted to make it even more impressive. But just to go with the simplest way, that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to show you two different ways that you can capture content that you want to use for a live reaction video. And the first would be a display capture. And display capture, I personally feel works the best. You can crop it up, you can make it whatever you want, and it allows you to show all different kinds of content. So we're just going to leave it named display capture, and we're going to select a display that we want to bring our stuff in on. Now you can see that this particular display is a smaller display, so I'm just going to stretch it so it reaches all the limits, and we'll put our camera in front of it, and there we go. So now on this display, we can take whatever it is that we want to react to, whether it's images or videos or a web page or anything. So let's just say that we wanted to watch someone's YouTube video and make a commentary about it. Well, that's pretty simple to do. All I would do is move my web browser up here, double click on it, and we'd go into YouTube. And from here we can select any video we want. Now if you're going to do this for a live stream or something, you're probably going to want to set up a bunch of tabs up here with videos that you want to watch. So, you know, we could basically click on this video and you can see that I have all of this stuff totally muted. What I would probably do is skip past and just pause, right? And we're all set. So I can expand this to watch the video just by doing that. And I can control the video over here. Now, if you're gonna do a live review on a video of some sort, you're gonna want to be wearing headphones. So let me show you how that works. You're also gonna notice if I click play here, and let me put this on my headphones first. So we're gonna go ahead and set this to our headset right here. And if I play this and I unmute it, we're not getting any sound down here at all. So how do we fix that problem? Well, let's get audio for our video by clicking the plus, and we're going to go to Audio Application Capture. And we'll just go with Chrome Audio, and there we go. Probably spelled wrong, don't really care. And we can drop this down and select our Chrome tab right there. Click OK. Now it's in there, so when we click play, we get the audio for our video. We can pause it, do whatever we want to actually make commentary on it. And you're going to want to pause your video. You don't want to just watch videos. That's not how this works. You're supposed to be making commentary and entertainment out of other people's content. If it's not transformative, you're going to get copyright strikes. When we do this, we can basically set up a bunch of different tabs in here. So we've got this video here, create another YouTube tab, and I can bring this up here. And like I said, I will usually watch through the ads, click skip, and then pause it. So there we go. So now I can maximize this one right here by going like that. We can watch this video. I can minimize it and move on to the next tab. Maximize this, watch the video, do my commentary. We have the audio. That's what you can easily do using just your Chrome.
Hello, I'm Gendy Tartakovsky. I'm an animator and director and creator of Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, Primal, and Unicorn Warriors Eternal. I'm here to answer all your animation questions on Twitter. This is Animation Support. At Tatsumilology, how is 2D animation so smooth and fluid? Tell me. For animation, we go at 24 frames per second. Let's say my arm goes from here to here in 24 frames, which is 1 second. So 1/1000. It'll be really smooth. If I don't have the time or money to do it, then I'll start going to 12 drawings. And now all of a sudden, it's not as smooth. And then if I really am running out of money and time, then I'm gonna do it faster and I'm gonna do it in 6 frames. And here, now you're losing the fluidity, but I'm gaining money so I could do the rest of the episode. But it's a fake. Nobody cares about fluid or smooth. You want great acting, you want good jokes, good stories, good characters. If it's a little choppy, I don't care. So don't obsess over smooth or fluidity, obsess over stories, character, humor, storytelling. At Peach42, why are there so many cartoon characters that don't wear pants? That is a old, timeless question. It's haunted me in my dreams sometimes. It's just somebody's choice to have a character be naked, and it's okay if he has a bow tie on. Let's keep thinking about this one, all right? Thank you. At Bizaru, do voice actors try and time their voice to animation, or do animators have to animate what the voice actors say? The voices come first before the animation starts. We have the actor come in, they'll read the line, we edit it into the shot, and then the animator starts to animate to the lip sync. And we break down the waveform, right? So what's loud, what's accented, and then we'll follow that for the animation. Now, interestingly enough, for Primal, I just have grunting. We did our dialogue recording after the animation was done. Aaron the Plant, who voiced Spear, he would then come in, we would play him the picture, and then he would do the grunting to the picture. A lot of anime is actually dubbed sometimes after with the voice cast, but for our style of animation, our mouths are very articulated. We have to do it to the voice recording, not after. At Weiss Choice, or Weiss Choice maybe. When they make sequels to animated movies, do animators repurpose shots or elements of them from the former movies? I don't really know much about animation, so this could be a very stupid question. For Hotel Transylvania, from the first movie to the second movie, we repurposed most of their character designs and the castle itself. But on the other hand, because technology is going so fast, within a couple of years, ImageWorks, the studio that we used, they reprogrammed all their tools. So they couldn't just use it, they had to input it and then change it and upgrade it. But yeah, usually for sequels, unless you change locations, there is some savings in that. At My Ike Cams, what are the 12 principles of animation? Basically, there's squash and stretch. You have a circle, it gets hit by something, and so then it squashes. That's squash and stretch. Then anticipation, before you can go straight, you have to go backwards. For a big cartoony character doing a punch, the anticipation is crazy. So this is a big anticipation for a punch, and then the punch would be, completely off the page. So there's your anticipation. and there's your punch. And follow through is if you go to grab something, things move at different speeds. So if the hand is anticipating this way and we're gonna grab, then when we move it, my wrist will go first, my elbow will go back. And so you see the wrist is leading here, and then it catches up after. So that's all about overlapping action and follow through. And you can put the squash and stretch in there too, because then the hand can be delayed a little bit, and there's a little stretch. And really those 3 will get you started. There are 10 maybe there's 8. And I'm not gonna give them to you because they're the earned principles that you have to first learn the first 5 principles. And then when you get to the 8th principle, sometimes we'll throw in 3 more principles. And by 30 years in the industry, I know 27 principles, but I'm not gonna talk about them because you can't even comprehend those principles. I'm probably gonna get reamed for forgetting a whole bunch, but start with those.
Are you crying? No. There's no crying in baseball. Or with the Capital One Venture Card, because it lets you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. And you can use those miles on any travel purchase. What's in your wallet?
When you travel with Amex Platinum, access to the Centurion Lounge means vacation starts before you get there. That's the powerful backing of American Express.
Disorder. How often do animators forget to animate the characters blinking, and how often do we just not notice they haven't been blinking for like 5 minutes? Blinking is part of keeping a character alive, and sometimes even breathing. It's an odd thing because it's really creepy because you almost feel like they are kind of alive. We did that on Fang in Primal where we had her breathe more because she's such a big creature. Sometimes you forget about the little things, and sometimes the little things say a lot. We're always kind of thinking about it, so usually if the character's just standing there, we'll always remember to use a blink. But good observation though. At Slow Beef, 3D modeling animation question. Is an armature and a rig the same thing? Rigging, we use the term for, I'm not gonna explain it. It's hurting my brain. An armature is basically a skeleton. This is the worst drawing I've done today. That's your armature, but rigging is actually in CG animation. You put a point here and you put a point here, and now your elbow and your arm can move. So that's called rigging a character for movement. And the armature is really the proper beginning to the rigging process. It's something I hate to talk about. At Junie by the Sea, why is Hotel Transylvania's animation so good? Hotel is good because we took the principles of classical animation, stuff that was done in the 30s and 40s and 50s, and we translated it into CG. And what that means is adding, new sculptures to the model and every new expression and pushing the squash and stretch and forgetting about gravity. And actually, one really interesting thing that happened was because our animation was so extreme, what happens is you animate like a naked puppet, basically. It goes to a different department and they put the clothes dynamics over it. The computer then knows how to fill in the dynamics, but not when you're moving from here to here in one frame. That doesn't happen in real life. So constantly the clothes dynamics were broken. The animators had to go back in and actually start animating the clothes like how we would do it on paper, and then they would put those keyframes in for the dynamics, and then they would follow them a little better. Everyone had so much fun, I think, doing it because the results were